For over 100 years, Bay City State Park has been one of the most iconic places for Bay City residents to visit during the spring and summer months. Bay City State Park is home to 2,600 acres of woodlands and meadows, 1,000 feet of beaches, 7 miles of hiking and biking trails, and the Tobico Marsh. The Bay City State Park was built by the Michigan Conservation Commission in 1922. Prior to 1923, locals called the area Waterworks Park because at the time there was an old waterworks building on the property. In 1923, the park was officially named Bay City State Park. The Saginaw Bay Visitor Center was built in 1940. It is a 10,000 square foot building with a 100-seat auditorium. The Visitor Center has exhibits about the history of the park and its ecosystem. The center also includes classrooms which teach DNR fishing and wildlife programs. In recent years, the park has added a small water park called Spray by the Bay and an accessible playground. The Saginaw Bay Visitor Center received a $2 million renovation. Visitors to the Anderson Nature Trail can observe over 200 bird species and other wildlife. Fishing enthusiasts can fish for carp, pike, and bass. In addition, there are over 180 campgrounds on the property and pavilions for hosting events. We asked a park ranger about the park and what it's like to work there.
What wildlife should an outstater be on the lookout for?
So here at Bay City State Park, we have a wide variety of different animals and plants and such that you can see. Some of the more characteristic items that you might encounter while you're out here would be something like a broad-crowned night heron, which is a unique type of wading bird that looks for various fish. But you might encounter our beaver that work pretty hard on our lagoon, helping create a lot of the wetlands. So a lot of wildlife that include migrating birds and different mammals.
All right. What activities do you recommend the state park offers?
So we currently offer quite a few different activities for people to engage in, but there are lots of things that people themselves can come out and experience. So for instance, we offer a variety of fishing, archery, and outdoor skills along with camping activities. But then if you're on your own, you can come out and enjoy the campground that we have out here. We have plenty of spaces for boating, where you can do it offshore with kayaks, or in our lagoon you can do kayaking without motors. But you can also just go for walks, go for hikes in our forest, go for mountain biking on our trails, or even, like I said, birding is a huge one for our area with a lot of Audubon groups that come out and do bird watching, photography, and activities of that nature. If you're into more rec, you could go out to our spray park or the playground and go and enjoy some of those activities, or just lounging on the beach, getting your tan on.
All right. What trails do you recommend?
So in our park we have over 7 miles of trails, and they kind of interconnect in different ways. We are part of the rail trail that loops through Bay City. We're on the northern part of that end, and so you can loop up to a short 0.8 mile hike around our lagoon, which is a great one that I like to go on and show students that come out here to our park the difference between our marsh and the beach line with the Saginaw Bay that's just off our shore, which many people have never seen before. But then to get a forest experience, we have our big loop trail out in Tobico Marsh, a major feature of our park, and get to see some of the wildlife that are in there, including our nesting wood ducks that tend to inhabit that area with turkey and deer.
In your opinion, what is the best thing at the park?
So there's a wide variety of things that I love in this park. When you're talking about the best thing that I can think of in our park, seeing the different parts of Tobico Marsh is really a highlight, from the forest edges that are right along it, where you have vernal pools, temperate puddles of water with ephemeral plants that grow, like trout lilies and pterilliums, several other endangered species that are found in that area. But also seeing the large migration of birds that go through, from the waterfowl to our songbirds like warblers that go through our park area. So that's one of the really cool joys of it.
All right. How long have you been a ranger here?
So I've been working here for several years. I started on the campground side as kind of a maintenance ranger, working over in that group. And so that's with the Parks and Recs division of the DNR. But then I moved over in 2010 over to the marketing outreach division, doing interpretive work, so sharing programs, teaching skills and that. And that's been going on ever since I took over the visitor center as director back in 2018. So kind of been over 10 years or so with DNR, even volunteering as a youth when I was in middle school, I've had lots of experiences working in various groups.
All right. What are the biggest events at this park?
So we have 4 major events that we run in our park, from a Halloween event to the fishing festival that we offer and winter festival. But by far, one of the biggest, biggest in state parks in Michigan is our waterfowl festival, and that usually is every weekend, first weekend of August, and we see anywhere from 8 to 10,000 guests over that 2-day weekend. And we also host like the national or the state duck and regional duck calling competitions where competitors go on to Worlds competition in Arkansas. But in addition to that, there's a lot of outdoor expo activities that can do, going exploring about the outdoor world, so maybe hunting or going out and learning about camping and exploring and such. So we get a wide variety of vendors that come out and share some of their products or experiences that they offer for students and guests to learn about.
All right. When you hear the words Bay City State Park, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, for me, Bay City State Park has maybe a little bit different than some other people might think. You hear Bay City and you think Saginaw Bay with the name Bay in it, but I also think about Tobico Marsh, part of it for me, just because that's one of the major reasons we're still here and have been here for over a century now. Tobico Marsh got adopted in a few years after we had become a park, and that was from the Tobico Hunt Club. And it's a vital piece of our current park because it has a lot of the wildlife that roams through our park. It uses most of this area. And it's a national natural landmark, so it means you're not going to find something of its kind in most of the Great Lakes region. It's very unique. And with that uniqueness comes a lot of endangered and threatened species, which is why I kind of find it very special for our park in this area.
All right. What does this place mean to you?
So this park means a lot to me in many different ways. My kids have grown up here for many years. Either they've been participating in activities or they've been helping out with volunteering in them. But it also means a lot in that I have the opportunity to share with a variety of different guests from all over the world even, because I've got people from a variety of different countries that come here to see the different wildlife that are called this park home. And that's very special to share because there's some animals that some people don't get a chance to see. Some of it may be as simple as a chipmunk. Some kids come from inner city, they see concrete day in and day out, just getting a chance to be in the grass, see a chipmunk, a squirrel, a gull that's flying over our bay. Things like that are simple things, but it makes it just that much special to see these families coming out, sometimes for the first time seeing some of these critters.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, I've seen a lot of wildlife in my days, and coming here, you see just so much more than I've seen. But on the final question, what would you do to make more tourists visit the park?
So when we're trying to get guests to come out and visit the park, some of them may be a little unsure, they're not know what to expect. A big one that people get fear of is mosquitoes, or maybe a bear that might come out of the forest and come after me. So it's a lot about educating of what opportunities are here at the park, what can they engage in, how they can do it safely and ethically as they come out. Because sometimes some people may not be familiar with what etiquette looks like when you're in a forest, or how to prepare. There's a lot of fear that some people have of being a first time. And so we offer classes to help introduce various guests into how they can engage in a safe and fun way of the different resources that we have in Michigan, because our park is not something that I necessarily own. It is public lands, so it's something that the guests all around here own, and so it's just sharing how they can engage in these natural resources.
All right. Well, that's everything. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you.
After the interview, we also went out to some citizens to tell us something about the park.
When you hear the words Bay City State Park, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Nature.
The beach.
Oh, I think about barbecues, the fun time I used to have at a park, running around with everybody, and just all the good memories.
The first thing that comes to mind is actually the Bay City Western cross country team, because that is where we do our workouts about 3 days a week during the summer, and then we do our long runs out there during the fall, and it's gorgeous, and I love it.
Thank you.